Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching The Breakfast Show, and in this segment of our program we will talk about the colorful coffins which were excavated recently in Saqqara necropolis. These coffins were announced by the American Archaeological Magazine as one of the most 10 important archaeological discoveries in 2020, and to shed more light on this, we are joined over the phone by Mr. Ihab Kamel. He is a tourism expert and a historian. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So, Mr. Ihab, as I've just talked about the colorful Saqqara coffins, could you please shed more light on that discovery and its historic importance?
Well, we have to understand that Saqqara is considered to be one of the most important cemeteries in ancient Egypt. You can consider it to be the equivalent of the cemetery of Thebes. This is the northern cemetery for Egypt. Basically, the work in Saqqara had started a very long time ago, and it's still revealing more and more treasures. The work had started in the 19th century.
Yes.
So up till now, we are still finding lots of very important artifacts over there, which indicates that this area has got a lot to reveal. Also, there had been more than 40 foreign expeditions working in Saqqara, which indicates how important it is. As a matter of fact, we had found so far more than 159 ancient coffins, but the new in this discovery that they are in a magnificent condition of preservation. We haven't found something that well preserved. All of them, they are dating back to the late period, and especially from the 26th dynasty up till the Persian invasion. We're talking about 6th century, from the 7th till the 6th century BC. As a matter of fact, this area needs more study in Egypt. Also, we succeeded in clarifying lots of facts and correcting lots of concepts about the ancient Egyptians. When you look at one of the mummies through an X-ray which was done on the site, we discovered that it was belonging to a man in his 40s, 40 to 45 years of age, which is an indication that the Egyptians did not live for long in those ancient times. And even the height was 5'4" or 5'3". So this also corrects lots of concepts for the public that the Egyptians were tall or whatever. And we studied a lot about, clarified a lot about the ancient Egyptian ways of mummification during several historical periods. We had discovered lots of information, and it was a golden opportunity to correct lots of misconceptions by the public. As a matter of fact, this discovery and the condition of the sarcophagi was something amazing, and it's a stunning discovery to the whole world.
Yes, Mr. Ihab, in your opinion, why were the Saqqara coffins chosen as among the 10 most important discoveries of the year 2020, and what makes them different from any other archaeological discovery that took place in 2020, especially that this year witnessed many archaeological discoveries?
Well, of course, the main reason is that the huge number of coffins that were discovered. You're talking
maybe, sir, the colorful coffins, that it's weird that they still maintain its colors.
Exactly, because also of their condition. You're talking about wooden coffins, and we have to understand that wood does not really stay in a good condition for long, because it's very fragile, not like stone coffins. So even the possessions of the wooden artifacts in the Egyptian museum are very little. in comparison to the other artifacts. Things that are made from wood, because wood disintegrates very quickly, were actually very little. So imagine you have wooden coffins that are in a perfect condition, that are still intact, maintaining their own colors. This is something very unusual, and it was very unheard of in the past 100 years. Besides that, the coffins obviously were untouched because we had found the mummies inside, and we had a CAT scan or an X-ray test on one of these mummies, and we understood a lot about the techniques of mummification in the ancient times. So this is also something that makes this discovery something unique. You're talking about tombs or burials or akasha, name it, and they are still intact. They had never been touched by any tomb robbers or anybody. So
Yes.
I guess that's why the whole world was surprised.
Yes, sir. Also, the Minister of Antiquities said that Saqqara necropolis is still full of many historical antiquities. So, can you tell us more about this important area, Saqqara necropolis?
Saqqara, it had been the necropolis of the first Egyptian capital,
Yes.
Memphis. So it became the necropolis of the capital of this unified kingdom since the beginning, since 3,200 years before Christ. The area itself, it's huge, and you can say that it's also the most ancient necropolis since the unification, because we started to find tombs in Saqqara that dates back to the first and second dynasties, like the tomb of Hamaka, for example, the vizier, that dates back to the second dynasty. And its artifacts are in the Egyptian Museum. And also because of the huge size of Saqqara. Saqqara, it starts from the west of the Giza pyramids, extending all the way to Mazruna village, and in the north, and actually it occupies an area of 60 square kilometers. So you're talking about a mega site, which makes it the biggest necropolis we have in Egypt, even bigger than the Theban necropolis.
Yes. So yes, please.
Also, the work had started in Saqqara since a very long time. And the work that was made in Saqqara is not like any other site. When you look at the complex of Zofer over there, it had been collected as fragments and reconstructed by John Paul Loire at the late 19th century. At the beginning, there was nothing but the step pyramid, but look at it now and look how it is. As a matter of fact, this shows the beginning of the history of modern architecture. So Saqqara has got lots of unique places which explains a lot about the ancient Egyptian history and about how it had developed and how the architecture was developed in ancient Egypt as well.
So, sir, in your opinion, what other major discoveries took place in 2020?
I believe one of the most important discoveries was the discovery of the tomb of Wahti.
Yes.
The tomb that was found intact in Saqqara. Can you imagine a tomb from the 5th dynasty, from the Old Kingdom, found intact? We've never found something like that.
Yes.
Like that before. We never did. Actually, the tomb of Wahti, it's the first Old Kingdom tomb to be found intact. Even the tomb of Queen Hatshepsut that was found in the pyramid, it was originally disturbed. And we had found signs that this was not the original location of her burial.
Yes.
So, and this was a mega discovery in the early 20th century. But the discovery of this tomb of Wahti, it's something beyond belief. The whole world was stunned, really, looking at a tomb that dates back to the 25th century BC, which is completely intact, which is well preserved with its colors. It's something no one really can believe so far.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Ihab Kamel, tourism expert and Egyptologist. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. I'm Shina Adel, and I was joined today by my colleague, Nirmeen Abdurrahman. Thank you for watching.